about organ transfer, the black market. Look, I don't want no parts of that in real life. But today we got Tribal Hunter review, hyperinflation. Let's get it.
So when the metal hit his mug, he just sunk in place. 100K Holla, chillin' Bahamas. Come home to your crib and throw in your mama.
What is good, HollaSquad? We are the latest squad on the YouTube platform. Listen, today we are back with another reaction. Y'all see what we got. The boy Seth in the building, all right? YouTube ain't send me your notification for your last 3 vids, but we here today, okay? I complained about it last video. YouTube said, hey, we should probably send Holla them notifications. He wasn't getting them. We here now, all right? Let's get it.
People, Seth here. Here's our topic of the day. Inflation. Inflation is a global topic. Some of the most powerful people on this planet are the same people responsible for the most inflation. Coincidence? I think not. You might think it's just a way of printing liquidity for short-term gain and no consequence, because, after all, everything is tethered to the dollar since we abolished the Bretton Woods system in 1971. So, even if you're holding pounds...
The Bretton Woods system, I have never... Hold up.
Abolished the Bretton Woods system in...
I've never heard of that. I gotta do my research. Shout out to Seth. I'm learning, bro. I love channels where I learn stuff.
1971. So even if you're holding pounds, euros, or yen, it doesn't matter because you're equally screwed. Our hyperinflation is your hyperinflation. Enjoy. In conclusion, the Federal Reserve is run by hyperinflation fetishists. But here's the thing. They're not doing it for money. They're doing it because they're perverts, and they find it to be extremely, extremely hot.
What is he doing to himself?
Let's talk about something completely unrelated. Tribal Hunter is a completely innocent game where you play as an Anthro lizard who is sent to guard over the land. You fight, you protect the innocent. You consume your enemies by ventilating them directly into your mouth. And it's really funny because if you...
Yo, my man is just sucking them up. What in the Kirby is this?
Eat too much, he gets large. Oh God, imagine that. And what if he ate even more and got even larger? Well, that would be crazy. But don't eat too much or you're gonna pop. This is an allegory for your blood vessels, which are going to pop if you keep going down this road. Because soon enough, the only way you can keep going down this road is in a motorized mobility scooter.
Like,
Answer me
Wally,
this. What will you do when Elon Musk turns off the Tesla battery in the middle of the woods? That's right. You're going to be kissed to death by a pack of nanny dogs who just broke out of a local nursery. And guess what? Breakfast was free infants ago. You're the main course. Think about that next time you're engorging yourself like the hungry caterpillar that you are. This game plays like a brawler platformer Metroidvania. It's like the old Metroids if Samus was or could become heavily pregnant, and this grants her gameplay advantages. It's much the same way. When you're small, you're very quick, you're very nimble, and you can platform really easily. When you're large, you hit like a truck. Your damage, your animations, your hitbox, they all scale with your stomach content. However, you become both vertically and horizontally challenged when each footstep is the equivalent of a quake in Asia. Jumping is the least of your concern. This might not be politically correct to say, but there's no way to sugarcoat it without making you even larger. You're a fat fuck. So, how do we shed those pounds? Well, you sit down and you metabolize your food in a matter of seconds. When the morbidly obese blame it on metabolism, this is exactly what they mean. This is what they're competing against. This goddamn lizard just metabolized, and I calculated this, by the way. I took an average slaughter-sized 250-pound hog, and he ate 3 of those, which, in a span of 15 seconds, he has digested completely. That's over 500,000 calories reabsorbed into his body. And still we're asking stupid questions like, why can he breathe fire? Here's a question. Why wouldn't he? Sitting down quickly trades satiety for health, and it's your primary way of healing up between fights. It's actually genius design. Like, think about it. You're making a game and you get really happy when things get larger. That dopamine hits hard, like coronary heart disease. But where do we go from here? It's already half a screen, and the commission artist is just not responding anymore. After the last request, there's no sign of him. Their postal address leads us to a monastery in Middle England. But if we have to deflate and get smaller as part of a gameplay mechanic, just like free refills at a Denny's, we can get large.
Bro, you know I've never ate Denny's before? And like, judging by the way my eating habits have gone, I went back to IHOP and realized it's garbage. All right? So y'all let me know if Denny's is better. Because I need another, you know what I'm saying, little diner spot like that. I done ate too many Waffle Houses in 2022, bro.
And
Facts.
over again. You get power-ups, you get stronger, and you get access to more levels. Naturally, the most common and relevant form of power-up is increasing your stomach capacity. Now, you might think, oh, my capacity just got 10 points higher. And like me, you might initially miss that firing of a neurons, that transmission of a synapse, where you realize, oh, this isn't my final form. I can
Nicole
get
was
larger.
good.
And so there's this strange drive pushing you forward where you're kind of morbidly fascinated. Because you see, there's many forms of motivation, and ours is to see how large we can possibly get. Who is this game for? Why are we covering it? Why is it important? That's a very simple answer. First, they came for the furry inflationists, and I did not speak out, for I was not a furry inflationist. And then they came for me,
Hey,
and there
look,
was no
the
one
way
left
went to the
to speak
Donkahoga
out.
Blues,
That's why
so-
we defend them now, and we get on good
Big
terms,
W.
so that during the upcoming political upheaval, they can return the favor and vor our enemies. Due to the nature of my work, I cover some really old and really niche games. Problem is, it's hard to get an original copy, so I depend on friends and family to send me a working copy of Bad Rats 2, Punjabi Pre-Cracked No Virus. One of the most stable ways to do this is torrenting, or as it's more commonly known, trying before buying. Unfortunately, my internet provider and the people who work there
Long
are the
time no
product
see,
of a brother and
true.
sister who loved each other a little too much, as they cannot distinguish buying before buying. Unfortunately, my internet provider and the people who work there are the product of a brother and sister who loved each other a little too much.
Alabama, would you like to speak?
As they cannot distinguish between illegal torrenting and me trying to download a legitimate copy of a game I already own. So they throttle my connection and my internet grinds to a halt. Thank you, Verizon, for the opportunity to pay $89.99 monthly, all for the luxury of having no internet.
Hold up.
To pay.
It says with cause bro, I got AT&T and they were gonna charge me $5 extra a month to have auto pay. What? Why do I have to pay extra for y'all to take it out automatically? Huh?
$89.99
You guaranteed your
monthly,
money.
all for the luxury of having no internet.
And y'all just raised my internet $10, all right? That's why this is my last month, bro.
Despite this, like a battered housewife, I insisted
moving.
they're doing it because they love me. Then, about a month later, I received a cease and desist from Verizon, telling me that I'm most definitely going to jail, giving me a list of racially motivated gangs I can choose to join once inside. I've never owned a paper shredder before, but I gotta tell you, it's strangely satisfying. That's my third letter this week. So I realized
That's
my
crazy.
internet provider really doesn't know what's best for me. So instead, I chose to install ExpressVPN. When I run ExpressVPN, my internet traffic goes through a secure encrypted server, so my ISP can't throttle my download speed because they can't see what I'm doing, nor can they see the sites I visit when I'm working hard at my job and sell my mental illness to advertisers. It's incredibly easy to use. All I had to do is download the app, tap a single button, and just like that, I'm fully secured. And ExpressVPN does all this without slowing my connection. So stop
Shout out
letting internet providers
ExpressVPN.
arbitrarily decide what you can and can't do with something you pay good money for every month.
True.
Protect yourself today from the misinformed decisions of mega corporations who don't care if you live or die by using the same VPN I've trusted since 2019. 3 years, and they never failed me once. How about that for an endorsement? Sign up now and you can get 3 months of ExpressVPN for
See, I'm sitting here. I'm consumed. I ain't even know it was at. I kind of knew it was at, but I'm intrigued. All
free
right,
by
I'm
visiting
intrigued.
expressvpn.com/seth
AT&T, count your
or
days,
clicking the
all right?
link in
Count
the
your
description
days.
box below.
Just
Thank
don't
you to
slow my internet. I
ExpressVPN
only got
for
like
sponsoring this video.
25
Gameplay
days
is
left
pretty
here, all right?
straightforward. You help out your local village by beating the shit out of everything and consuming their dead bodies. For an island guardian, you're actually quite terrifying, and the village itself is a really nice place. What a beautiful day on God's earth. I wonder, what shall I do today? day, work on myself, develop my skills, care for my friends and family. I know I'll spend my entire life online and become increasingly weird and isolated, divorced from reality. Self-esteem? What's that? I like the little townspeople. They give you a sense of community and a purpose for why you're doing what you're doing. I also found out the flying minigame is a really good way to make money. On the other hand, it's really difficult to explain to friends the nature
Apples
of
make
your
you
anger.
smaller?
There's not many ways to say I popped. Like Icarus, I flew too close to the sun. Or in this case, I flew too close to one chicken dinner too many. And I have to repeat the entire stage. You can play using a keyboard or controller,
Son.
but I strongly recommend a controller
Logan
for
was
your
good,
own
my boy.
comfort and sanity. Personally, I think the platforming is incredibly difficult. I've had situations.
Bro, they don't even give me the full AT&T fiber where I live. Like, they literally was like, yeah, your area, we only do 75. We don't do 100 up or whatever they said, bro. They don't even offer the full fiber here. Google Fiber, where you at? All right? We need you.
Situations where I can clear the entire level, but I can't make a single jump to save my life. And then I proceed to repeatedly eat the same trap until I die. You have two spells, fire and egg. What do they do? Well, it's pretty self-explanatory. Fire is fire, and egg can make a cow forcibly pregnant. Not really much more to say about that. We know the rest. The milk industry, reptile eggs. Some would argue you can't have one without the other.
You know what I was thinking about the other day? I was like, how did we figure out about milking cows? All right. Somebody had to be walking around, you know what I'm saying? And was like, yo, I'm going to go pull on that real quick. Or I'm going to put my mouth on that real quick. And discovered cow milk. Okay. Because, of course, babies, you know what I'm saying? You get the, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But who put their mouth on a cow udder to find out we can get some milk from them? You're nasty.
Skills and abilities by defeating bosses, which in turn can be used to access new areas. Music is pretty nice. You hear the same tracks often, but they're not grating or pronounced, so they don't really feel repetitive. Some sounds are not balanced for the rest of the game. Each time I hit an armored pig, my speakers shake and my table travels. In town, you can buy items, and I strongly recommend them. They can save your life or a trip back home, which can be quite a bit of backtracking. Thankfully, you unlock the ability to fast travel relatively early into the game. I actually love it because the animation is based on your current weight. So if you're thin, you can tell it's a very pleasant ride. If you're not, well, it's clearly more of a struggle to stay in the air. At some point, I realized you can intentionally get caught and bloated by slime plants, break free, spit out the slimes, kill them, and generate infinite XP. Unfortunately, I have to witness something unsettling each time I do this. So no, I don't think it's an exploit. It's an intentional form of torture. Everything you gain is outweighed by everything you lose, namely the ability to close your eyes ever again without that image burned into your skull. Enemies are varied and will harm you in one of two ways. One, they can kill you. Two, they can forcibly feed you until you explode. This is a similar experience to visiting grandma. The longer you stay, the higher your risk of cardiac arrest. She won't kill you out of hatred. She'll drown you in the pancake syrup river of love. Also, the death sequence for getting too full is arguably more difficult to swallow. Food is both your strength and weakness. You must constantly toe the line between obesity and death. They say video games are not the greatest medium for storytelling, but I disagree. When you see your obese lizard grappling the side of a cliff, his face says it all. Without words, he evokes one singular emotion: concern. The enemy placement in this game is brutal. Forget those two archers in Anor Londo. That will seem like a pleasant memory when you're getting stun locked by roast turkey. You get XP pretty generously, and this lets you upgrade your abilities at any time. Many of these are locked until you get later into the game. I don't have any recommendations except get healing on your punches, because relying on digestion for health is okay, but you can't do magic on an empty stomach. And that's a shame, because playing the game as a tactical egg artillery is objectively the best experience. Imagine seeing something pouring from the sky, and it's either going to kill you or make you pregnant. That's quite terrifying. Critique: I hate slimes. I really dislike them. That is all. Besides that, sometimes animations really don't look like they should affect you, but they do. Like, you can feel a hammer's shockwave when you're not even on the same floor. It's a minor complaint, and they'll probably fix this.
It looks like it's still hitting.
It's a furry developer. In all likelihood, they will fix this, and they're currently taking notes. That's the difference. You want something done? Stop recruiting on LinkedIn. Go to Fur Affinity instead. Also, some of the controls can be awkward, but you can remap them. And also, you're just going to get used to it. reverse critique. I really like the idle animations. That is all. In conclusion, I give Tribal Hunter a full out of belly. It was there for me during a difficult period of my life. Each time I made any money, I would flash my wads of cash outside my wallet and comically lose them to a strong gust of wind each time. Eventually, I was left with nothing. Just me and a small bag of crack. I knew I had to get
Yo, I heard Colombia is about to legalize the booger sugar, bro. Yo, United States, you're done. All right, they about to get the bag. All right, the bag is there. I was already planning to go to Colombia, not for the booger sugar. All right, I was going for the Tatianas. All right, I'm on my way.
My life together. So I smoked the whole bag, using them to outrun cars and siphon gasoline from their tanks, usually at the same time. I would describe the experience like using the devil trigger from Devil May Cry. I used high gasoline prices to in turn buy more crack, which I used to call fueling my addiction. I found this joke to be very amusing. I would repeat it often to the same homeless man I would hound for hours, running circles around him as he cried and wept. And here I am today. Thank you, Tribal Hunter, for giving me my life back. Hey, sorry for stretching out the video, but I'm happy to inform you all that Tribal Hunter is now on GOG. Follow my GOG link at /UNICEF for 15% off. For every dollar you spend, I will personally steal a liter of clean drinking water from the children that need it most. Forget charities that make things better.
Crazy.
I promise I'll make them worse. The developers told us they're really close to a 1.0 release, so even if you buy now, the game is going to leave early access in a couple of days. As always, more content to come, so stay tuned. Or don't. It's an open door policy. A warm thanks to the many members of the Merchants Guild
like a good little
generously
fun
funding
game to
and
play.
bankrolling these videos. You're all truly wonderful, unless you're mentally unstable, in which case I recommend comprehensive psychiatric therapy. Have a good one.
Yo, that was a nice little game. The beginning, what he said, the bread something. I gotta look that up, figure out what he talking about. All right, but Tribal Hunter a little tough, okay? But y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff, and until the next time we see y'all, peace.
Who said we ain't bout it? Test the gang and you'll get touched. She ride it, Kawasaki, roll my blunts and keep it quiet. Money is the motive, so we keep it on our